This is your dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. Starting from humble beginnings, Nick has been beating the markets for over 2 decades. He shares with you his take on the profitable trades that will have you moving towards financial freedom in no time at all. To see an in-depth review of his track record and much more, go to inthemoneystocks.com.
Welcome. This is your daily dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. I'm Kerry Lutz. Today is 8/22/22, and this is show number 416. So stocks look like they're rolling over now, Nick.
Yeah, you got a pretty good sell-off again today. This actually started on Friday where we had a big decline, and now we're starting to see the markets see some selling. And remember, last week was options expiration. That's kind of a neutral week because stocks are going to be manipulated a little bit by these institutions. But now it looks like we're back to real trading, and we got a pretty good decline. The spiders are now testing their 20-day moving average. So we're already at a pretty important level today. And now that the institutional game playing is over, we're back to real trading.
Back to real trading. And so what do you think is in store here?
Well, I think the markets right now, as long as they can have or continue with the light volume in the month of August, we'll probably see some backing and filling, some bouncing in this area. But the rally from July, in my opinion, has gotten long in the tooth. I'm not saying we can't have one more move up, maybe even into the September timeframe. As you know, later this week, we're going to have Jay Powell speaking about interest rates, inflation, and the economy. He's going to give a speech on Friday from Jackson Hole, Wyoming. So I have a really difficult time thinking a lot will happen ahead of that speech. But the reality of it is the Fed has to continue to raise rates. They're going to start a quantitative tightening unless he says he isn't going to do it. I mean, there are all these things saying that, yeah, the rally probably, has come to or is close to concluding. It doesn't mean we can't have one more thrust higher. I wouldn't rule that out. As long as there's light volume, there is that chance. But, the rally is definitely long in the tooth at this stage of the game.
Long in the tooth, that seems to be it. And this thing could pull back rather quickly, couldn't it?
It not only could it will. I think, we're coming into this second half of the year. So if the institutions want to defend this rally, they're going to have to do it relatively quickly because, September is never a bullish time period. It's a negative and a bearish time period. So I think we're in for, a September to remember.
All right. A September to remember. I like that. Well, I don't know if we're going to like it. So what about what's happening Jackson Hole later this week?
Yeah, so Jackson Hole, this is where the central bankers have this big powwow. They all get together. You'll have businessmen go over there and CEOs and other central bankers, and they'll get together. They'll get out of the sunshine. They'll go into the cool Jackson Hole, Wyoming weather. It's beautiful out there this time of year. And then Powell will make his speech on Friday. But again, I really think he knows it himself. He needs to cool this thing down a little bit. You could see the froth that came back in the market. So we'll see what happens out of Jackson Hole this week. I don't think it's going to change the bigger picture, which would ultimately mean, the markets will trade back down. But for now, they live to fight another day. Not so good today, though.
Not so good today. And basically the dollar's up, gold, Bitcoin down?
Yeah, the dollar has really caught a very, very strong bid recently. You're going to see that the U.S. dollar index now at around 108.63. Remember, it peaked out in July. I believe it was on July 14th, right around a little peak above 109. So we're back to retesting that level. And all in all, the dollar is still holding a very strong uptrend at this point in time. And that seems to be weighing on gold, seems to be weighing on some commodities this morning. But I will tell you this, I like gold miners here. And if this gold play turns into a fear trade, you're going to get a big move, especially in the gold miners, which I own, full disclosure. Just let everybody know that.
And it looks like the session lows have backed off in gold and silver.
They have. And, gold miners ETF, which is a GDX, has actually gone positive by a few cents here after starting very weak this morning. So you're starting to see that shift. And once that shift kicks in, these things, when they start to run, Kerry, you know how they run. They're fast and furious to the upside, especially when panic comes into the market. And it will come in, I believe.
Right. So finally, Bitcoin's down a little bit, but it's still holding over 20K.
Yeah, Bitcoin's down a little bit. It is still holding over that psychological 20,000 level. But I mean, this thing has been around this range for so long. It now can crack. And I think, all the people that love it down here, there's still a chance for another bounce. But you want to really be careful, because if this breaks, you're going to see this thing go south of 14,000 pretty quickly.
All right. Well, that's it for today. We will be back on Wednesday. In the meantime, make sure you go over to Nick's site, inthemoneystocks.com, see his trading record, how he's beaten the indices for decades, the Twitter feeds at ITMS, at Nick Santiago01, and at Kerry Lutz. Emails are welcome, KL@KerryLutz.com, and share with us, what are you doing? Are you worried about the market? Are you going short? And what are you doing with your gold and silver? Just shoot us an email, KL@KerryLutz.com. Nick, we'll talk to you on Wednesday.
Sounds good, Kerry.